Senses determine how we experience the world. The way an apple tastes, the way someone's skin feels, the way we see the sky, these senses shape our reality. Now imagine that your senses are crossed. So when you hear a car going past, you can also taste caramel. Or when you see something green, you hear G chord. Sounds cool. It looks cool. And it tastes cool. 4.4% of the population has this trait. And if you have this trait, you may think everything I say is obvious. If you don't, you might not believe me. At least up until 1987, where scientists proved the phenomena with MRI scans. This is real. Some people see the word Monday as red, but don't worry. It's still a crappy day for everyone. If you want to know if you have it, how many 2s can you see there? There are 6. If it looks something like this, or you could separate out the 2s from the 5s by having a sense of a color for each shape, you have synesthesia. If that's a yes, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with you. It's a trait, like having freckles. And if you didn't react to the test, you might still be synesthetic, because there are lots of different variations. Personality to numbers, numbers to colors, colors to sound, pain to sound, flavors to color, or orgasm to flavors. There are at least 70 types of synesthesia. You know Van Gogh, Duke Ellington, Kanye West, Marilyn Monroe, and it might be crazy what I'm about to say, but even Pharrell Williams, well, they all have that in common, synesthesia. Kanye described Jesus as a sonic painting, and Pharrell recounts the chorus of Happy is a little pink, a little rainbowy. And if you're wondering why a lot of artists have this trait, it's because you may have a more complete perception of the art you produce and a different sense of harmony. A good example is the Russian-born painter Vasily Kandinsky. Working in the early 1900s, Kandinsky was believed to be synesthetic. For Kandinsky, certain color triggered sounds or musical notes and vice versa. So to him, a concert would look like a long swirl of colors with different dots, dashes, and strokes that indicate nuances in the music. As a child, he could hear a hissing noise when mixing colors in a paint box. Later, he said that the sound of a cello represented the deepest of all blues. Many contemporary artists are trying this today. Perry Hall is one of them. His synesthetic experience inspires his live paintings. Can I truly experience synesthesia? Well, yes. Technology helps people to get close to the synesthetic experience. The first thing you would naturally think of is a device. For instance, the BrainPort from WeCap, an electronic vision aid that translates live video information into gentle electrical stimulation patterns that are felt as vibration or tingling on the surface of the user's tongue. This is great for blind people. They can feel their surroundings through their tongue. And there is also Zachary Howard, an aerospace engineer who made a mask that used a color sensor, microprocessor, and essential oils so you can taste sounds. But does it really make me experience synesthesia? I mean, will I really have the senses mixed, or will it be just a pale imitation? In the future, how will I be able to confuse my senses to enhance my creativity? Will I be able to mess with my senses easily? Or can we go further than that, like creating a whole new sense? What if we had a sensor that allowed us to see infrared and UV? Meet Neil Harbison.
I'm a cyborg artist, and cyborg art is the creation, or the art of the creation of your own senses and the art of the creation of your own sensory organs. In my case, I have a new sensory organ, which is an antenna, and a new sense, which is sensing color through bone conduction and going beyond the visual spectrum, so from infrared to ultraviolets. Then I also have internet connection in my head that allows me to receive colors from other parts of the world or from satellite.
And do you use this to make art?
I get close to someone's face and then I listen to the sound of the eyes, the lips, the hair, the skin, and then I create a sound portrait. And then instead of sending an image of someone's face, I send the sound of someone's face.
Wow, so you basically have a new sense. Can I be a cyborg?
We are now all psychological cyborgs. There's a union between us and technology, very strong, psychological, and this union is starting to become a biological one. We'll start seeing more people emerging biologically with cybernetics and with technology, and we'll start seeing people with new senses and new organs very soon. It's already happening, that it will slowly become normal to meet people with new senses and new sensory organs.
But synesthesia isn't only about art and beautiful colors, incredible smells and colorful orgasm. It might also help us on a bigger scale. Scientists are talking about how it helps to improve learning skills, aid recovery from brain injury, and guard against mental decline in old age. In the future, we could all of us get ourselves new senses, senses that don't exist. What senses would you want to have? Well, let me know in the comment section. Oh, and I got dibs on the 360 degrees vision, obviously. For more stories about art and technology, give the subscribe button a click and watch more of our videos.